Hey now, we are live. Let me make sure we good to go there. And then let me go live on Instagram. Let me see. I forgot. This is how I have to do my Instagram. Hold on. I forgot about that. All right, so hold on. Hold on. I'm coming over there. But we can't leave the Instagram people out. We got to have the Instagram people. So let's see there. I'm in a new area. Okay, so that's the best I can do for Instagram, I think, right now. I'm coming. Let me know if you okay, Andrea, I say see in here. Okay. What happened? Hold on. I don't want to do that. Okay, there we go. Okay, this phone is not cooperating. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. Nadine says, I like their charities. So this is where I'm home now. I'm back in Atlanta, and this is where folks are normally used to seeing me. So seeing here on IG. Okay, good. Good. So this is where folks are normally used to seeing me. So I'm back home. Hi, my Emily. Thanks for identifying yourself early. So I'm back home in Atlanta. And y'all, let me tell you something. Some of y'all already know this if you follow me on my personal page on Facebook. I got home at 6 a.m. yesterday morning, took a shower, got into bed, slept for about another 5 or 6 hours, got up, had a hankering for a Crystal Burger, went to go get in my car. There was no car. My car was gone. And we have ultimately confirmed my car, my beloved purple Tonka toy, was stolen. And well, my dad was like, oh Lord, thank you, Jesus. And then it was like, thank you for taking the whole car, God, because my baby would have tried to piece the car together if it was just parts. So, yeah, I'm getting no sympathy from my parents. They are relieved that somebody, and then my father tells me to make sure I tell the police that to call him because he's willing to pay the bail. We're not willing to press charges. And they just want to thank the thief for taking the car off of my hands. So that has been my day today. So I was tempted. I'm like, you know what? I haven't prepared. I don't want to come unprepared. Then I'm like, you know what? I just got to make it do what it do. Okay. I just got to make it do what it do. So I'm not as nearly as prepared that I usually am, but I got some headlines for you. And I'll probably go live tomorrow maybe and talk about the car saga because it's hilarious. But with that said, let's get into the headlines. I do have a guest, a last minute guest, like 1 minute before I went live just a few minutes ago. Like I saw a headline. I knew who it could be for. I asked her if she wanted to come on. She said yes. So she's going to be popping on any second now. Who is this? Facebook user. I'm assuming maybe it's Emily. Excellent segment today featuring Dr. Shayna Lewis. Woo! Dr. Lewis is poised and seemed extremely comfortable on camera. So cool that Ryan invited her to come back again. Was she there in person or remotely? She was there on the set. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Shayna Lewis, one of my media mavericks who did the DIY course. I did not book her for this. She did the DIY course of Media Mavericks Masters, implemented my strategy perfectly, and got herself all the way up to live with, I'll keep wanting to go Regis and Kelly because that's what you speak, but Kelly and Ryan, and my girl rocked it. I saw my fingerprint on her. I saw her execute what I actually teach my Mavericks of when they're getting ready to do interviews. So yeah, thanks for reminding me about that and bringing me back around to good news, Emily, because I am super, super, super over the moon excited. You can't tell me nothing about what I teach not working. It works if you work it. And she implemented, she came on the Q&A, the last Q&A we had, and she walked it down in front of the Mavericks of exactly what she did. And what she did was do what I told her to do. So you can tell I'm not only am I home back in Atlanta after 3 months in LA, I'm back in my own bed. I don't have no car, so I couldn't go get nothing to eat, but that's the story for another day. We ain't gonna camp out there. And then Dr. Shayna did her thing. So I'm on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm rocking on about a 100 right about now, because I'm back in my space, in my environment, and my favorite chair. So anything else I need to know before we get into headlines? Because I know I'm kind of just like really, really, really hyped today. So sorry to hear about your car. It was my purple Tonka toy. Okay, so we're going to pull it back in. We're not going to stay sad. We're going to pull it back in. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and get into the headlines. I think it's this way. Yeah. Okay. So, out the gate, we have to talk about the obvious. So I saw early, and so actually this is a cue. And if this, well, first of all, I was so hyped, I didn't even introduce myself. I'm TJ Mercer. I'm the chief noisemaker of Media Mavericks Academy, where I teach authors, experts, coaches, and entrepreneurs how to book themselves in the media without a publicist and without being a celebrity. And I got the receipts to back up that I do what I say I can do. So, taking a cue straight from what you see happening in the news a lot of times is excuse me, it's called there's a slogan in news that says, if it bleeds, it leads. Okay. And so in America, you will find that the entire A block of the news is typically bad news, right? And in the mornings, the news broadcasts in the evenings typically end on a high note, because you don't want people going to bed depressed. But in the mornings, it's a little different. That is kind of happier all day. But the 11 o'clock news, the 10 o'clock news in the Central Time, if it bleeds, it leads. And so I said all that to say that that's kind of the cue that I've taken when I do these, that we get the tough stuff out the way first. All right. And so obviously the tough stuff today is the children's funerals have begun. And if there's anybody new to me who is not familiar with how I roll, understand, and y'all back it up in the chat, understand that when I do these NEWSJACK cities, I'm coming with the responsibility of a person who works in media. So my goal, I'm not interested in leveraging death, leveraging pain. I'm more interested in helping experts help those people who are experiencing pain and is experiencing hurt and trauma. So when I cover these things and tell you guys to NEWSJACK, it has nothing to do with y'all know I'm a crybaby anyway, because heck, I cried all the way through when we first had to talk about it. So just know that my goal is to always present it in a way that helps you be a help to other people. Bradley says, I'm trying to figure out a way to be a resource to those experiencing grief from the Uvalde tragedy. Children have lost the children. Bradley will tell me, type in the chat what your lane of genius is, and I'm making help with that. But what I wanted to say about this is, Andrew says she has a heart of gold and only wants to, yes, that is true. I just cannot hear any of this right now. Tap out, Dr. Catherine. Tap out if you need to. It's too much. I can help people through the trauma, but this last shooting really impacted me on a different level. I will come back to this video. Yes. So what I wanted to bring to the forefront about this, though, is I saw earlier that some parents are potentially opting to open the kids' caskets. So like, Mamie Till did when Hate killed her son. So if that happens, if you are an expert in this space, be on standby to talk about this, on how parents can help their children deal with this if these pictures get out, if it's leaked, and even you can even talk about the pros and the cons of these parents' choices, not judgmental, but how you can help. Okay. Facebook user says, that's what I want to do, be a resource for those grieving families and children. I'm a chaplain, a grief coach. I'm trained, have a traumatic loss of my granddaughter. So that's what started my service to this special community. So that is exactly why I had to talk. Oh gosh, I'm not gonna cry. Ugh. Okay. So that is exactly why I had to force myself to talk about this, because people need your help and they're not going to get the help. Okay. This is Bradley. Okay. Got you. So, yeah, if Andrew said, oh my God, if Madison saw that it's lights out, she would not be the same. So it's one of those things, Bradley, that you have to gauge if this happens. I'm seeing that the funerals are just beginning to start. And, whereas I can certainly understand Mamie Till's choice of showing what Hate did to her baby's body, I'm sure these parents are, feeling the same thing. And I've lost a child, but not in this way. So I will not pretend to understand what that feels like. My job is just to put you guys who can help serve this particular community, like you, Bradley, who can help get in position, get ready to step up and help. Okay. So that's what I'm going to say about that. And we got a couple of things that are sad, and we're going to, just get through them the best way we can. We in this together. And then I saw today or yesterday that Master P announced the death of his daughter. And from what I can piece together, I keep going to the wrong screen. What I have pieced together is that she's had a long battle. She had a long battle with drug abuse and mental illness, according, to his post. So you remember I said, anytime something happens to a celebrity that makes them relatable to the everyday person, that's when you step up and you use that to inject yourself into the conversation. So look into that, follow that, see if there's some help you can give or some support you can give of understanding what has happened there. Okay. Which leads me to this one. So I saw this on the Today Show website, and you can go look at it. Families of college students who died by suicide unite for powerful moment of healing. So once again, what I saw when I read this article is that it said suicide is 1.5 times more likely to happen post-pandemic than it did pre-pandemic. And so my mental health people, you ain't never going away at this point. this is something you can definitely talk about. And the fact that it was on the Today Show, what I would suggest is strongly pitching the NBC stations in your communities, because you can, allude to, recently on a broadcast of the Today Show, united families of college students who died by suicide. And I want to present to you, I want to consider a segment around, and then go and look at the segment and see what the parents actually said. Okay. Bradley says people need the help. Several families have made the decision for open casket funerals. I'm not sure they realize the trauma they and vicariously others will deal with due to that. I support their decision to do it, though. If that's the part of the healing process, we have to let them have that. So that's a great take on it, Bradley. So that's why I would definitely insert where are you? I don't remember if I know where you are. What city? Because that's a very level-headed way of looking at it. And then if they make the decision, how does it affect the other kids who potentially, could see that? And so, yeah, I don't profess to have any idea what those parents are going through. Dallas. Okay. So Dallas is the number 4 market. So consider, you can go after Dallas, but if you've never done media, I strongly would stay away from Dallas. If you've never done TV, but look at the areas around Dallas that you can actually pitch to and get your expertise in front of. And then, talk about it. Is it really going to help in the healing process? But make sure you walk very respectfully around what these parents, and I'm not saying it like, you weren't going to do that. But what I'm just saying is, if you end up, doing media, just make sure you constantly are reiterating your support of the parents and their decision, but rather you just want to make sure, and this is with every, all of these heavier topics, that you just want to make sure that they are, all angles are considered and looked at and weighed in, and especially the parents, because, they could feel like Emmett Till's mother, who, wanted the world to see. So maybe the parents are thinking that if they let their child's bodies be seen of what an assault weapon actually does to a body, then maybe the powers that be will move into action and do something and put something in place. So just be very, very mindful of constantly, for lack of a word, bowing down to the parents and understanding that this has to be tough. And oh, okay. So Dallas ABC had my grandson and I on for Kobe and his daughter's funeral to talk about children's grief and his book. So that lets me know then you have a relationship with them. I would double back and talk about it and nudge that producer who booked you to talk about this. So you have an entry there and you've been on there. Definitely present yourself and your solution. Okay. Good stuff, Bradley. Good stuff. Okay, let me see. So this was one that I don't know much about, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't spend time reading the article. I just thought it was fascinating and how you perhaps can leverage this to talk about and get your expertise out there, is that this syndrome called Havana syndrome, and it typically is only impacting our government officials and our military who are serving abroad. And they have these, from what I understand, they have these symptoms that are, FYI, I'm late, but I'm in the live chat. Okay, good. I'm glad to see you, Pumpkin. And so I saw this on CBS News, and it's a former CIA analyst talking about that she has not received the treatment promised. So here's what I was thinking about this. If you pitch to stations that are in military towns, are, have a huge population of military where there's a base nearby, and you are a doctor or PhD. Hey, my Farah, I knew it was you, doctor, PhD, or something like that. Then you could insert yourself into the conversation and help veterans out, or help, the military, not the military, the government officials. Don't know much about this, but I'm assuming that, it could be on the radar of our MDs and people who, are aware of this, people who work with veterans that are aware of this, that's something that you can look into. This one is, okay, I'm gonna sit on that one. I'm gonna come back to that one. This is another medical one that I've kind of been keeping an eye out on with, this thing of the monkeypox. And so who the World Health Organization said is not is not concerned about it, but the cases, from what I understand, the cases are rising. So just keep your head out for that. From how they described it, from what I understand, this is my limited understanding. I don't have the first medical degree, but from a limited understanding is that right now they're noticing the trend is it's being transmitted sexually, but that's how, and not equating it, please don't pounce on me. But I remember, that's how the AIDS started. They first thought it was a gay disease, for lack of a better word. And, the more it came out, is, how they traced it. And so I want you to keep an eye out on it. If this is your lane, if the medical field is your lane, well, I'm sure by now you still keeping up on it, but just consider it as an option for you to pitch. Okay. And then, okay, so now let's turn the corner to a little lighter stuff. Okay. Woo, okay, we made it through the A block, y'all. We made it through the A block. So let's just celebrate. Lord, I was like, ooh, I got a lot of heavy headlines right there. Okay, so, all right. So over the Memorial Day holiday, it said that more than 7,000 flights canceled worldwide over Memorial Day weekend. Delta alone, I think I saw the number was 700 flights. Delta alone canceled flights. For my travel people, what does this look like? What does summer travel look like? Delta said it's cutting like 100 flights every day, starting in the summer. So what does this look like? What is summer travel? What are some tips? What do you need to put in place? What do you need to think about ahead of time? What are some travel hacks? Like, for example, I was watching a TikTok. I was getting off of the plane yesterday, and the travel, I had a TikTok. Hold on, I'm trying to tell my guests to that link. What was I saying? Y'all? So the TikToker was talking about the fact that, in most cases, make sure you book directly through the airlines, because you have an easier time negotiating when there's a problem with your flights. So whatever your travel hacks can be to help us navigate, the next big holiday coming up is what? Father's Day. There may be some heavy travel on Father's Day. And then obviously we've got 4th of July weekend. So I see you, Bianca. And so what can you do? How can your expertise help to get us through that period? Because folks gonna be hot. So if there's even if there's some airline people that can give, out some tips, tricks, and, everything, let us know. And I'm asking not for my friend, I'm asking for myself. Okay, so this one is an article on the 20, films that should be on your radar for 2022. What's cool about this is, hold on, I gotta get back to what's cool about this is you can newsjack TV shows and films. If you don't know, if I haven't even taught you, if you haven't picked up on that yet. So start looking at, hey, Daphne travels a beast and has been prepared, because you can get to that point at your gate to find out the flight has been canceled. Be patient. Those who work at the airport are overwhelmed, and it's not their fault. TSA pre-check, and if you're a global entry, try not to book via third-party companies. I just said that because you have no leverage with airlines. There you go. So that comes from Daphne is a world traveler with her beautiful, beautiful, smart, brilliant brown stem girl, Elena. But so back to the 2022 films. So with the 2022 films, go and look at this article on Yahoo and actually look at what films are predicted to be hot, right? So Top Gun Maverick just broke out. Something called Crimes of the Future, Jurassic World Dominion, Hustle, and so on and on and on. We're not going to go through all of them. The point is to look at what is newsjackable, what themes of the film are out there. So I also remember that when what was that film? What's the Pixar film about the emotions? What's the Pixar film about the emotions? It was the whole emotions. What was it? Whatever that film. Some of y'all got kids, y'all know immediately what I'm talking about. But whatever that film was, I had a media consult with a client who had come out with an app that talked about peace. Not soul, Bianca. It was a that all of them were emotions. Like they were literal emotions. Oh gosh. It was the cutest thing. Y'all saying soul. No, it's not soul. It was before soul. No, I know. Okay, so Farrah I'm on to something. Like somebody Google it for me, because y'all know it's gonna bother us if we can't think about it. But so I'll go on and y'all come back and tell me. But whatever that film was at the time, I saw it with the little girl. When that ain't helping me by not telling me what the name is. So she had come out with some kind of app that dealt with emotions. And I told her, this is prime. Go inside out. Thank you, Andrea. I knew somebody was going to come through like a champ for me. Inside out. So, now all of y'all are doing it. The ones of you who were saying soul, now y'all jumping in on the bandwagon. But she was able to newsjack that and use Inside Out to translate into booking herself. So that's why I'm saying I want you to look at the 2022 lineup. What are critics really looking forward to? See if it's something that's on your list that you can stomach, because I ain't sitting through a drama. If it ain't got action, if it ain't got explosions, cars blowing up, folks getting killed, yeah, that's my type of film. I ain't sitting through it. But I want you to pick your choices and see if you can come up with some newsjack angles that you can leverage. So that leads me to the perfect example. As soon as I was thinking about that, I came across Top Gun. And if you look at the title, I want you to pay attention to this headline that was in Forbes. It's just what I taught y'all to do. Lessons from Tom Cruise's $300 million debut. Already pulled out the lessons of what that movie. That's it. I couldn't have given you a better example. You seeing it firsthand. Totally seeing it firsthand. The lessons you're going to learn from it. That's what I want you guys to be looking at. That's why I'm telling y'all. Andrew said in their defense, Soul was filled with lots of emotions. I'm going to be nice to you in front of company. You're supposed to remember where your loyalty lies. Okay. Remember where your loyalty lies. But yeah, this is a perfect example of what I said. I had done the 2020 movies, and then came across this article of doing exactly what I'm saying. That's all he did. He just newsjacked it and wrote a whole article for Forbes. So that's what you can do. And then I think I got two more, and then I'm ready for you, Bianca. I don't know if there's something there, but I just kind of found it cute and interesting. Former Goodwill worker explains why it's hard to find really good items in store. So that made me think about summer's coming up. If you have some tools and tricks about thrifting, with knowing, this, and go ahead and make sure you read this article, because he was talking about where when the something of value comes in, they send it to the online store so it can be put on like an eBay kind of thing and sold to the highest bidder. So how do you find great thrift finds? If that's you, if you enjoy thrifting, even just as a hobby, this is still something you can pitch to get in good with the producer, and just, this is what you do. You start with, I was able to find $5,000 worth of stuff at the Salvation Army, and I got it for $5 or whatever that is. But it's just something there. Not sure what exactly, but I wanted to bring that to somebody's attention to consider. And lastly, before our guest, is Lady Gaga dropped a selfie on Instagram where she had no makeup, no filter. Lady Gaga dropped a topless, no makeup, unfiltered selfie, and I'm in awe. So what that made me think about is summer's coming. Some of my beauty experts that can, talk about like how to go bare for summer. I don't know why I decided to do my face like that to make the point, but I did. But whatever that can look like of makeup, or what skin regimen that should be using to get the Lady Gaga effect. So remember, I told y'all one of my people like you, she wasn't even a media maverick at the time. When Kim Kardashian did the cornrows, and everybody went crazy over Kim is once again setting a trend. And black women got mad, rightfully so. But I told somebody like, hey, you're a hairstylist. Go newsjack how you can get the Kim Kardashian look. So it's the same thing here. How you going to get the Lady Gaga what's the word I was going to say? Not selfie, something selfie. I lost my train of thought. But how do you get the Lady Gaga look? An effortless selfie. That's what I was trying to say. An effortless selfie or something with a natural skin. What, her regimen can be. Go dig deep and see if she's talked about her regimen somewhere to see if it's something you can latch on to and put yourself out there and talk about. All right. I think that's it. Yep. So I wanted to bring on my girl Bianca when I saw this headline. A researcher's avatar was sexually assaulted on a metaverse platform owned by Meta, making her the latest victim of sexual abuse on Meta's platform, Watchdog says. Now, if you don't know what metaverse is, I got you. I got the expert. And I don't know nothing about this article, because I'm be honest with you, soon as I saw it, it said metaverse. I shot it to Bianca. I was like, I don't know if this is something you can use, Jack. So I don't really, hopefully Bianca has read the article, because I didn't even read the article. So everybody, welcome my fellow mastermind member, my girl who actually, when you were in the elevator with me and you didn't speak, was it? Okay. So I'm not going to tell that story. I'm not going to put you on blast. But yes, I will eventually get to it. But I'm gonna set you up as a credible expert, and then I'm gonna let them like be in awe of you, and then I'm gonna tell the real story about you. Okay. So this is Bianca Jackson. I'm not even gonna pretend to explain what Bianca does. I'm just gonna actually stop sharing my screen and hand it over to Bianca to tell y'all what she does.
Right. So, hey, everybody, my name is Bianca Jackson. And so I have a physical space in Baltimore called Brick Rose Exchange, where we hold live events physically in the space. But as of December 2021, we started hosting virtual reality events in the metaverse. And so while this is new technology to a lot of people in the virtual world and things like that, I've actually been in the space for about 5 or 6 years when I was managing a team at USA Today where we built metaverse environments from scratch. So when TJ sent me this article and I started reading it, I was like, I'm glad you gave me the platform to really talk about this because I have a lot of opinions about what's
Oh, good. Like I had no. Am I lying, Bianca? I
not.
did. I was. All I said was consider this as a news jack. Then I was like, oh, see if she wants. Do you want to come on and talk about this? Cause I don't know. Once she said she was gonna come on, I was like, I ain't got to read the article. I'm gonna just let Bianca have the floor and do what she does. So Bianca, and if you have questions. First of all, I'm gonna make sure you let them know where to follow you, where to get on your email list, where you're dropping yumminess. Because I didn't have time to do none of that. Because literally, 2 minutes. This all went down 2 minutes before, so I was not prepared. I don't have no questions. Cause I don't know nothing. So if you have questions, type them in the chat.
Yes,
And I'll make sure Bianca answers them. So Bianca, what is it? I'm handing it over to you because I don't know enough to ask to know what to ask. So what is it that you want us to know?
Well, what I want you to know is that I don't want people to be afraid of the metaverse, right? So let's start there. I think that, hey, Ariane, someone said I was missing my glasses, TJ. I got to find some glasses to put on.
No. What she was throwing shade at me because I wrote a post the other day that somebody, a friend of mine, ran into me in an airport and thought I was ignoring them, and it was I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see her.
Okay.
So
I wasn't sure if it was like a guest thing that everybody had to come on here with glasses.
no, she's just throwing shade. Don't pay attention to her. Hi, Ariane. Good to see you.
So getting back to the point, I don't want people to be afraid of the metaverse. And so these articles or these issues have been surfacing, I would say probably since like December, January, where like the first accusation came out. The headline around the world was "Woman is raped in metaverse environment ran by Facebook," right? And so I just want to put this all the way out there. It is physically and technically impossible to be raped in any of these environments. No one has sexual organs. So I just want to make sure that we are very responsible with the language. And I think the word rape is a really, it's disrespectful to real victims that this happens in real life. This is my personal opinion, right? So I think that if we want to, highlight, potentially sexual harassment in the metaverse, then we can do that. Someone says, "What is the metaverse?" I find that I always got to define this every time.
I was going to say, now hold up. So we just got to go back to the basics.
Yeah, let's go to the basics. So for those of you who have ever played Second Life, Pokemon Go, have kids that play Roblox, you're even using filters on your phone, you're somewhere tied to the metaverse. Most people are immersed in it, so it's like a virtual world. On Facebook, they created a whole virtual community that people can go in with their headsets, with their goggles, and interact with users all around the world. And so all of these accusations, for the most part, have happened in Facebook, aka Meta's Horizon worlds. And so that's where most of the accusations are coming from. People saying that they've been assaulted in those places. And so hopefully that was the first thing. Right. So someone says, "I was confused about how an avatar can be sexually assaulted." It cannot. This is my personal opinion, right? The technology is designed whereas your avatar may run into somebody, run through someone, but it's not designed to grope, to grab, to do any of that, right? And so I think it's really important the language that we use around this, because you don't want people who aren't in there to be afraid about going because it's like, "Oh, I heard you could get raped." No, you can't. No, you can't. And you cannot be groped because the technology isn't designed, it wasn't programmed to do that. Now, can somebody run into you? Absolutely. Can people say obscene things? Absolutely. As you walking down the street. But I just want to make sure like there's a distinct difference between what can happen and what can't. And I think that as media professionals, some have done a really disservice with using these really charged words, right? That triggering words for real victims. And I just don't want people to be afraid of being there.
Wow. Okay. So then let's turn the corner a little because I do have a lot of authors and
Mhm.
experts and entrepreneurs. What do what should they know about just going into the metaverse? Like what is the first thing they need to consider?
How they want to show up,
Mm.
right? So I think this is the biggest thing. When you go into these virtual environments, you can choose to be anybody and anything you want. So if you're going there to represent your business, it's best if you go in as yourself so that people aren't confused when they meet you in real life or they talk to you on the phone. Now, when you go into some social, kind of like social environments, you'll see all types of stuff. People might come in as, I don't know, animals, dragons, I mean, even kids. And so, like, you as an entrepreneur, business owner, solopreneur, whatever, my best advice is show up how you naturally are. So if you're a woman, show up as a woman. If you're a black woman, show up as a black woman. If you're a white woman, like whoever you are, show up as that so that people they're not confused when they finally meet you in real life. So.
And what do you foresee as the trend for experts and business owners and coaches going into the metaverse? Like talk about, how they really can leverage it and why. And I'm asking for a friend. I ain't really asking for me. So, but like why they should incorporate one more thing on their plate, in addition to all the other stuff that they're doing.
So what we're starting to see is more utility, right? And also being able to create special spaces and environments for your super fans. People who really love you to death, that rock out with you, they're rocking your t-shirt, they're holding a sign, they're walking down the street, they're screaming your name. And when you create these exclusive spaces for them and just have somewhere that they can hang out and actually interact with you, and it's really cool because you don't have to create an in-person event. Like you can meet them in your metaverse space. They feel like they're in the same room as you and you never have to leave your couch. You don't even got to get dressed up if you don't want to. So I think like that is the most important thing that we're starting to see. And also with some of the clients that we're working with, we've actually helped Jen from God Ain't Petty, right? God Ain't Petty, but I Am. She built a whole verse, right? And so she has new designs there where frequent buyers can interact with her. And so imagine creating these spaces and giving people who already love and adore you more opportunities to buy from you. And I think that's the most important thing when it comes to speakers, authors, coaches, and trainers is like, how can we create these really exclusive spaces for the people who already buy from us? And they say, what? Whenever you want to make more money in your business, you don't go find new customers. You find ways for your current customers to give you more money. And so I feel like the metaverse and creating metaverse spaces is a way that all of you watching can do that. So I'm really excited about the opportunities and working with the people we work with to kind of bring their visions to life.
So what I hear is that like I can create a metaverse of NEWSJACK City, and my people we can actually be in kind of the same room and kind of seeing each other's avatar, right? Okay, but the requirement for that to happen though is one of those oh no.
So let me just tell you, the technology has advanced tremendously, right? And so 5 years ago, you needed this, right? Now you can get on these platforms with your computers, with your phones. So literally the digital divide is gone.
So Bianca, have you done like a basic metaverse 101 or something?
I have. So what I'm looking at right now is hitting like whole pockets of umbrella organizations to meet as many business owners as I can at once. So kind of changing my model from what I was doing earlier this year.
Okay. Because that's what I would need. Like, okay, I just take my hand and walk me through this. So maybe this is something that you and I could do soon, and I can send it to my list and really not just hit you spur of the moment and say, can you come on? Right. But something that we can really plan for you to help my folks, because that's what I definitely want to do. Any questions, anything else that I don't know enough? We'll say, could you create a verse for virtual try on for product based customers, or just to show your new products released?
So there's different platforms that do both, that do one of the two. So it just really depends on where you're trying to be, right? And so the platform that I prefer using right now, there's a lot of showing products off and then having hyperlinks that go to a store. But the virtual try on, there's very specialized platforms that do that in the metaverse.
Okay. And then Andrea wants to know, has the network marketing industry tapped into this yet?
Not that I've noticed, but Andrea, I think you should send me a message.
She ain't known as the bling slinger for nothing. And okay, is there anything that I just don't know enough to ask you? Bianca?
Yeah, so not that you don't know, but I think that most people, they hear about it and they kind of ignore it. Like they're like, oh, I don't know what that is. Let me keep moving. Don't ignore it. This is the internet web one, right? In like the 90s, right? A lot of people tried to ignore it for as long as they could until they absolutely needed to be online. And we even saw during COVID, for businesses who weren't online in any capacity, guess what happened? They went out of business, right? And so while you may not understand and you may not feel comfortable, people are trying to scare you, still learn as much as you can learn, even if it's a quick Google search. And I always tell people, do metaverse plus whatever it is that you're doing. So metaverse and media training, metaverse and music, metaverse and crafting, so that you can get an idea of what people have already started to do, so that it can inspire you to think about like, well, what if we do blah, 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 right? And you could wind up being the first one in your industry doing that thing. So I just want to encourage people to like really get in there. Yeah, someone said Bitcoin and metaverse. Yeah, there's a lot of cryptocurrency stuff that's happening in the metaverse, and you'll start to see more overlap and intertwining. So,
well, let me ask you this before we get to Miss Brenda's question. No, I'm gonna actually let Miss Brenda, because actually it's not a question, it's tips for you, as I promised. Like you bring on, I'm giving you some of my thoughts. So Miss Brenda says, how can this be used for inspiration and journaling?
Good question. So it depends. Are you a coach teaching people how to journal? Are you do you already have your journal and you're trying to sell it to other people for inspiration? It really depends on what angle you're coming from this, right? Or coming at this. And so I would say, again, quick Google search, metaverse and journaling, metaverse and innovation, inspiration, metaverse, inspiration through journaling, something like that. And so that'll give you some ideas of what people are doing. But I know people are selling products through the metaverse. They're, putting up inspirational quotes. Like, so let's say you have a coaching program or something, and a journal was just a part of the program. There's a coach that we worked with where we built her a lounge where all of her new clients come meet her for the first time. So they get to see.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So they get to see like a testimonial video and some of her books and some of her journals. So she can kind of talk to them about those things or just introduce them to her program. So it just really, literally all of the above, Brenda. You can do all of that, but it's up to imagination. And I always tell people, like, once you have the idea, start moving on it, because we all hate when we start talking about something, we think about it and we don't take action, but then we see somebody else who's like, they stole my idea. No, they didn't. They just executed.
They just moved on it. Right. right. Okay. So what I as I'm listening to you, and I'm glad that you bingo in the metaverse. That's right, Andrea. Oh my gosh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. HBCU bingo in the metaverse. Okay, so oh, that's good. Okay. I gotta focus. Okay.
Focus.
So what, as I'm listening to you talk, it's like you have to get yourself out there, Bianca, because you said something key for me that I'm like, this needs to be in your pitch. Don't get left behind on the second wave of the internet.
Actually, this is the third wave.
Third wave. Okay. What's the so the AOL, when it came out, it was the second wave. Is that what it was?
So think like regular flat words on the screen, first wave, right?
Okay.
Second wave, social media.
Okay, gotcha.
All that. Now we're getting into something. It's still growing. So this is the third wave.
So like how you even put it, you know, when the internet first hit, people were resistant and waited to the last minute. I think you should be pitching stuff like that. And then what I would also suggest you do is really sit down and think about the many ways that metaverse can be used for people who are not in business. And why, you know, say for instance, you go on ABC Memphis, right? And you're talking to Memphis people who they ain't got a business or anything, but they're gonna get left behind. Just like when we stop using the mail, you know. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, you gotta have an email now. It's like you can't avoid it. At first, people are like, I don't need no email, I just fax it, you know. And so I would look at exactly all the benefits that metaverse helps everyday people, because until you said it like that, I really didn't think about it. And how you said it was you're going to get left behind again. And so I'm like, oh wait, well, nobody likes to be left behind. So let me lean into this. And you're right, it's not going to go away. I would start looking at the small, like the areas where you're going to be holding these, you know, events where you're teaching, you know, Metaverse 101 or something. I would pitch the media in those specific areas.
I like that.
So, and then, and this is with me not knowing, you know, I'm not that familiar, so this could be, you know, way off in left field. But like it's usually the seniors who get left behind.
Yeah.
So even if, you know, you do something just for seniors.
Oh, I got something on my sleeve. I'm not going to talk about it here. We could talk about it first.
Good. Yeah. Okay, good. So, but all of it is definitely complemented with the media. Because and you can position yourself, just like, I don't know if you were listening, that my Dr. Shayna ended up being on Kelly and Ryan this morning. So being that how, you know, the metaverse is new, and like how you told Andrea, you know, there's untapped markets over there, be the first. I'm saying the same thing to you. Be that first expert that's out there in the media demystifying this thing.
Okay, I like
Be
that.
the first person in the media breaking this down, because in the media, it's the adults and the seniors who are watching these news segments, right?
Yeah.
So if you start becoming the trusted resource there, because you're all over the place talking about this and helping people and demystifying this and breaking it down, not making it so scary. Because the other thing that you Laz says we are not always considered seniors, but 50 plus folks might need some help. There you go.
Right.
What was I going to say? So what was I going to say? I just lost my train of thought.
It's all right. Sophia had a question. I wanted to tackle this real quick.
Okay.
She said the metaverse, and how can it benefit nonprofits, fundraisers? You can hold a whole fundraiser in the metaverse. And so if you want to do that, I've been working on some things behind the scenes on how to bring fundraisers to the metaverse, Sophia.
Yes, Andrea is saying educate the people on proper etiquette of the metaverse. Like that kind of stuff is you need to get out there, Bianca, and be that trusted resource that automatically, that's what I was gonna say, it becomes a no-brainer that I'm going to Bianca, because I'm seeing Bianca over everywhere. So I'm working with her. You know what I'm saying? So it's early enough for you to really start putting yourself out there.
Okay.
And being that voice of the metaverse. Okay. And demystifying. Oh, because that's what I was gonna say. Because that's the other thing, you broke that myth of thinking I needed the glasses. You know, like, oh, Well, that's why I ain't really paying no attention to it, because I didn't feel like being bothered with that. That's another thing I got to research. So what's the good like, I ain't got time for that. My car got stolen, so I don't even want to even research. I got to get a new car, because it's like I don't want to do none of that. So the fact that you're telling me, you're telling me that, oh no, you don't need that. I'm like, oh well, maybe I can get on that sooner than later. Then maybe I'll start looking at how we can do NEWSJACK City over there. You know, because I like interacting with people. Farah says, oh my God, yes, just like Zoom needs etiquette lessons. And this is good. Andrea says metaverse Mythbusters.
Okay.
These
are really good pitch ideas.
So that's why I was like, if you can come on, I think I got something for you, because this is a community of people. Andrea was one of my top media mavericks. So, you know, she fills in when I'm too busy trying to, you know, navigate and host. She's like, she on it. So does anybody else have any questions before I let Bianca go?
You got some great people here.
I know. I love my people. All right. So then, if there's nothing else, we count it down.
Okay.
And I give people time to just say what they need or have their last minute questions in 10, 9. And I've decided, y'all, that we're going to keep this up. I'll be doing NEWSJACK City through the month of June. I'll be doing it until God says otherwise. But I'm building something here with NEWSJACK City. I really, really enjoy doing these for you guys and expanding how you're thinking. And like I said before, I want it to become a community where we help each other of looking at different angles. So I'm definitely going to consider that whole metaverse thing, because that's when it really can feel like a community, a think tank, if you will, of us talking about this. 9, where was I? 9, 8, I don't know where I was. Last says, I came on late. I can't wait for the replay, and I am clueless about the metaverse. See, that's why I got folks like Bianca. Where was I? 6, I don't know where I was. 5, I gotta go order Uber Eats because I ain't got no car. 4.
Andrea says story time.
Oh, Andrea, wait a minute. Are you talking about story time with Auntie TJ, or you want to know? Okay, so do y'all want? You help others have a? Oh, that's right, Bianca. We need to find out, how do people get in touch with you? Thank you, Nadine.
Oh yeah, so they can find me on LinkedIn. So it's my name, Bianca J. Jackson. You can find me that's probably the best way. Just LinkedIn, Bianca J.
And is there anything that they need to do to get on your email list to get all your tips that you put out there? Is there somewhere you want them to go?
Right now, they can just go to LinkedIn. So Bianca Metaverse, I'm the only one that's going to pop up, or at least I should be.
Okay. See. So I'm wondering if I should tell them how you dogged me.
I did not dog you.
When we first met in person.
I did not dog you.
You
can tell your side of the story.
Do y'all want to hear how Bianca dogged me when we first met in person? So I'm gonna tell y'all this. So I was at the TSP Mastermind. It had been 2 days of people telling me, or me going up to introducing myself to people, and they're going, oh, I know who you are. I'm on your email list. Wait, what now? So you let me come introduce, you've been sitting beside me all day, and I got to introduce myself to you? Like, you didn't say nothing to me. So let me tell you about your girl, Bianca, who y'all have fallen in love with. Let me tell you how she carried me. So it was at the end of the day. By this time I had 3 people I told you, Bianca, who had stopped me and told me, or when I introduced myself, they had told me they're on my email list. So they knew what I looked like. I get on the elevator. It was me and Nikki Klug, my girl, Nikki Klug, who, by the way, is in town. She's going to be home in a few minutes. So she's staying with me. So Nikki Klug, me and her get on the elevator. Bianca is the only one on the elevator. The only one. So I get on and I'm going, hey, I'm TJ. What's your name? She goes, oh, I know who you are, TJ. I'm on your email list. I went ziggly boom because by that time I had it. I had it. I was sick of people letting me introduce myself to them, trying to make a new friend, and they already know who I am and don't say nothing to me. And I was like, Bianca, so I'm gonna get in the elevator. It's just me, you, and Nikki, and you ain't gonna say nothing to me? Nothing. You didn't acknowledge or anything. She said, oh yeah, I've been on your email list. And when you talk about I'm like, oh, you on my real email list. Like, you read my emails. So I fussed about this. I don't think I've ever let it go. Because you can see I'm still
talk about
much passion.
So wait, so let me tell you another part of it. Let me tell my side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So generally, like when you have, this is how I was looking at it, right? When you have somebody who has made such a name for themselves in such a big brand, that I know that they run into all types of people all the time, right? So this is what I was thinking. Oh, that's TJ. I'm pretty sure people run up on her all the time. So I'm just quiet. I'm just gonna be quiet in this elevator. And that was literally the thing. Because I know sometimes you get tired of, you could be eating at a restaurant, someone runs up on you. You walking in the street, someone can run up on you. Like, I just like to give people their space. And so it wasn't that I was ignoring you. I was literally giving you your space. That's what it was. But
so when she tried to explain that, I said, what if you're really on my email list? What part of me tells you I don't want to be bothered with people ever? Like, what have I done? And that's what I kept asking her all night. Like, I don't understand. What makes you think I'm not approachable? What makes you think that I don't want to be bothered? I love people. And so I actually sent out an email, didn't I?
Wait. Andrea said something funny. She says, Andrea said Bianca was in character in the elevator.
Okay.
That's funny.
So I told her that night, I said, you know what? I'm snitching on you and I'm gonna write a whole email about this conversation. And then I do it, I snitched by name and everything and told my whole email list about how Bianca treated me. So that is how your girl Bianca, the metaverse extraordinaire, really carries people in public. So with that said, I don't remember what number I was on. Was on 3.
That wasn't a carry. That was me giving you your space. But
that's your story. You're gonna stick to it. What did
Andrea say? Because that's what it was.
What Andrea said, not TJ. She wants to hug you and be up all in your space. That's true. 2, I'll see you guys next week. Tag your neighbor and tell them to be here next week. We're gonna just keep doing these, and I'm gonna keep serving you guys with the hopes that you will get out and serve the people, because then I can take credit for that too. So with that said, I'll see y'all next week. 1. Bye.
Bye.